Hey everyone, welcome back to RJK English. Today we're going to talk in general about getting an MBA and also some ideas when it comes to starting a business or being an entrepreneur. So why do people get their MBA? Often it's so that they can move up in a company. They want to have an MBA so that they can become a manager in a publicly traded company. You want to make more money. That was really the reason I got an MBA. I had a very good job at a company. They paid for me to get my MBA. My thought was I wanted to move up in the company into senior or executive management. Great reason to get an MBA. Another reason is to learn to start your own business. So maybe you really want to be an entrepreneur. An MBA can help you with that. You don't have to have it. You can also think about having a specialization with an MBA. For instance, I have one student who works in blockchain development. You could get an MBA that focuses on computer technology. Let's say you're in medicine, you can get a medical focused MBA. You can get an MBA based on international business. You can get an MBA with your specialization, but you can also get it for entrepreneurship itself. In my MBA, I learned a lot about entrepreneurship. So about the concept of business, about startups, and about tech incubators. You learn very general things overall in the MBA program. If you're looking for special knowledge, the MBA might not be where you want to go unless you know that it can just get you more money in what you do. The MBA is going to give you a taste of a lot of different things and roll it into how you manage a company. So you're going to learn accounting. For me, I had not done business classes before that. I had been in nonprofit work before I got into the business world. So I learned accounting. I learned finance. I learned about systems management, meaning computer systems, how you set this up. And you learn about business strategy. This is what the MBA is good for, is how to analyze your company. In a way, it can be a curse. Because once you learn this, you see your company differently and you start to notice how the company makes decisions. And you start to realize, oh, they're doing this because they're restructuring the business in this way, and this is how it's going to affect me. For me, I got my MBA, and then the company I was working for sold. I stayed with them for a little while, and then they sold again, and I ended up leaving. Well, the next company I went to, the MBA helped me to get that job, but I didn't make any more money. But the third company I went to, I made probably 20% more than I was making before. It was a really good jump in salary. I never have made as much as my wife because she's amazing and she's in medicine, and of course she makes more than me. So it did help in that way. But I ultimately realized from the MBA that I don't really like being in business, but it did give me the tools for thinking about how to start a business. So when you're thinking about an MBA, think about whether you want general knowledge, if you want to be able to analyze how a company works, if you want to work between departments, it can be very useful for this. But it takes a lot of your time, so you have to decide. Let's switch and now use some of that MBA knowledge to talk about starting a company, because MBAs these days are a lot about entrepreneurship. When you start a company, you can have two reasons for starting a company. One is you want to make a lot of money. And what I mean is this is your main reason. You don't really care about the product. You don't really care about the service. You want to make money. Two, you want a sustainable business and you like the work. You like what you do. You create a tech company because you want to see that tech company work well. I have a friend who is a filmmaker, and he's not making blockbuster films. He's starting small. He likes independent film. He's been doing some very successful things as well. But there's two different approaches here. If you want to make a lot of money, you want investors. If you want a sustainable business, you might want to consider getting a bank loan or bank finance, unless you can finance it yourself. One of the things the MBA program teaches you is how to start small, how to decrease your expenses. Here's a principle. Whoever owns the money really runs the company. So if you love what you do, Let's say I'm going to give you a musician or an athlete as an example. Musician or athlete, they love what they do, right? What happens? They get an agent and get a big contract. All of a sudden, things start getting out of control. That agent is pushing them more and more. Maybe they're giving them drugs, things like this. The agent is trying to maximize what that person does in order to get maximum amount of money out of them so that they can get money out of them before they wear out. Is the athlete or musician in this, are they really in control of their own life? No. They have investors. Investors are people that their goal is profit. They want to profit from your business. They don't care what your business is. The only thing they care when it comes to your business is that your business is profitable. If you want to take this road, it is a good road. Steve Jobs, billionaire, right? He was a billionaire. Billionaires aren't this. I'm sorry, in my opinion, they don't really care about their product. They care about making money. Because to become a billionaire, you have to make very tough decisions. And you have to kill your baby a lot of times. Meaning not your baby like your actual human baby, but you've created something. You have to sometimes kill that thing in order to get the next thing. You have to think very strategically about making money. Okay, that's different from building a business that's sustainable. So my friend, going back to my friend who's a filmmaker, he could, let's say an investor came to him and said, "You're good. I'm going to give you a bunch of money to make the next Avengers film." I don't think he'd do it. Why? Because he doesn't want to become the richest guy in the world and make a blockbuster movie that's just for quick entertainment. He wants to make art. So he wants this. He wants a business that is about doing what he wants. He wants freedom. He wants freedom and he wants to create. Well, if you get investors, they start telling you what to do. And this is one thing you can do, but the more you get investors, they care about the money, they're going to tell you what to do because they can pull that money. If you get a sustainable business, when you can think about a bank loan or something like this or bank financing just wants the interest on what they give to you. Investors are getting paid back through the profits. They want to get paid back for their loan with interest. For my friend who's making movies, he wants to control his own company. He wants to choose what he takes on because he wants to make great art. We'll see if he can do it. I think you can. But those are two things to think about. Are you into growing a business? Because investors, and a lot of what you'll hear about tech incubators and things like this, is about growing very quickly. Doesn't that sound great? You can have all the, insert whatever you want there. I can have all the women I want. I'm just talking. This is how sometimes guys talk. I want all the women I want, all the drugs, I want all the parties. Sounds great, but it's not sustainable over the long term and it gets out of control. But if you're smart, you can take on investors, you can grow your business, you can make the right decisions. A lot of times they're very tough decisions, and keep growing your business, but you have to manage these investors. If you want to build a company that's sustainable and it's about the love you have for the thing you're doing, you want to think about how to not give up control. And whoever has the money has the control. So these are my thoughts on an MBA, and these are my thoughts on investment or in creating a business. Okay, see you. Hi everyone, welcome to RJK English. Make sure to like and subscribe, and that will help me make more of these videos. I'm on YouTube and on Instagram, and see us on Facebook, and we can talk further.